I believe 100% the Lakers need to get Andre Drummond. Now that I'm thinking about it, if the Lakers want to compete against their competitors, Drummond would seal the deal and almost guarantee them a championship. With the NBA trade deadline coming up and the NBA buyout market almost closing, I believe the Lakers in these few days have to be very active to acquire Andre Drummond to join LeBron James and Anthony Davis. The Lakers just have so many options this year when it comes to the NBA trade deadline. There are so many things they have to do in order for them to secure their NBA championship, but in my opinion, Drummond remains their top priority. So if you're a Lakers fan and you want to know how they can get AD, another AD, get it, Anthony Davis, Andre Drummond, you're gonna like this video. But quickly, before I get out of the video, I just want to say, if you're new to the channel and you love basketball, welcome to ezBUCKETz. My name is Soom and I make basketball videos every single day. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications to not miss any of my upcoming videos. If you watched this video and you loved it, be sure to smash that thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it. It would help out the channel a lot. But without wasting any more time, let's talk about the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, you're watching it and learning about it and hearing about it on the fly, unless it involves your team. That's pretty much it. You know, unless you have any type of transactions that happen with your team, you really don't get too much involved into it. Besides just having sidebars and saying which team improved, which team didn't improve, which team could have got this guy, that guy, whatever. Teams are always just trying to figure out a way how to get better, especially the ones that believe they can make a run for a championship. So that's the way it's always been. Not always, but for the last, I guess, 5 to 7 years, 10 years of my career, with the trade deadline and the buyouts and things of that nature. So it's 10 days. There's going to happen really fast. So we'll see what happens over the next 10 days. I have no idea what to expect. I don't know what's going on behind closed doors with a lot of the franchises, and I won't speak about other franchises. All I can do right now is worry about what we do on a day-to-day basis. We love what we got going on here. Obviously, everyone is looking to get better, see what happens other than that. But, so we'll see what happens over the next 10 days.
The NBA trade deadline is on March 25th, and within these few days, we're gonna see a lot happen. We are past the half of the season mark now, which means NBA teams and competitors are getting ready for a deep playoff run, or in other words, getting ready for a championship. With the Lakers right now being in hot pursuit to defend their NBA championship, I believe they must make this top priority move. As I make this video, the Lakers are doing really well. They have a record of 28-13, which ranks them as the second seed in the Western Conference. Even though they don't have Anthony Davis, they're actually on a 4-game win streak. But what I love about the Lakers though is that they plan on still getting better even though they have a great roster, which is what I love. Rob Pelinka, LeBron James, and the front office, they're not gonna sit back and do nothing. Even though they know they're one of the better teams, they're still gonna try to improve. Rob Pelinka has stated on multiple occasions that during this NBA trade deadline, it's kind of like a master chess game where NBA general managers are trying to make the right moves, watching the plays, and ultimately they're trying to win the board. And with the NBA trade deadline coming up in literally 5 days, I believe the Lakers have to go for that checkmate, which is Andre Drummond. When talking about Andre Drummond, even this season, he has been one of the best rebounders, and when he is active, he has been absolutely amazing. So far, he's averaged 17.5 points per game, 13.5 rebounds, 2.6 assists, 1.6 steals, 1.2 blocks, and is literally putting up better numbers than he did last year when he was on the Pistons and then got traded to the Cavs. But right now, Andre Drummond is in a weird situation, and ultimately, I want to see him in a good spot, which is the LA Lakers. If you guys don't know what's going on with him, Andre Drummond has not played for the Cavs ever since February 12th. He's not playing because he's hurt or he's injured, but basically the Cavs feel that Drummond will no longer be in their future. Right now with the Cavaliers having so much bigs on their lineup, they have Drummond of course, they have Jared Allen, they have Kevin Love, they have JaVale McGee, and they even have Larry Nance Jr. Drummond they believe is their best trading asset, or in other words, their most effective disposable player. The main reason why Drummond is not playing is because they still value Drummond as a great center, but they're gonna be tanking this year, which means they're not gonna try to win games. So why play a player like Drummond if you're not trying to win games? You're trying to rebuild for the future. And with Drummond currently on an expiring contract, if Drummond feels he's not going to win with the Cavaliers, which they don't plan on doing in the next few years, Drummond is still in his prime, Drummond is going to 100% leave in free agency and join a championship contender. So with that being said, the Cavaliers want to put Andre Drummond in a healthy situation, because if he's not playing games, he's not going to get injured, and other NBA teams will have interest in a healthy Drummond who can be dominant on the boards. A lot of teams now need a center like him. And with the Cavaliers right now making multiple calls to multiple teams, the Lakers are one of the high suitors, and from what we're hearing, Drummond is interested in the Lakers, or in other words, the Brooklyn Nets. We all know what the Nets just did. They signed Blake Griffin after he got bought up by the Pistons, and after making this move, I think the Brooklyn Nets needs to be stopped. There is so much conversation when talking about LeBron James' career, how so many teams have to team up literally just to beat him, and right now the Brooklyn Nets are doing just that. They got Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Kevin Durant, Blake Griffin, even DeAndre Jordan, Joe Harris. I believe the Brooklyn Nets right now are the team to beat, especially on paper. And if the Lakers want to be competitive and compete, they have to get Andre Drummond 100%. He is their main and top priority. So if the Lakers ultimately want to get Andre Drummond, there are two options. The first option is trading for Drummond, and in my opinion, I don't believe they should do that. It's going to be kind of difficult. I mentioned earlier, Drummond is in his final year of his contract and is making about $28 million. The fact that he's on an expiring contract doesn't make the Lakers want to trade for him, because possibly they could lose him in free agency. He would just be a one-year rental. No rebuilding team is going to trade for him because he is a veteran who wants to be on a winning team, while no contending team can easily trade for him because they don't have the cap space or simply don't want to lose the depth on his huge salary. When it comes to a team that literally can trade for Drummond, I'm gonna be honest, only the Boston Celtics can do it. They literally have a $28.5 million available cap space, which means if they get Drummond, they're not gonna literally have to trade salary or players. They just offer him money straight up. It's basically like buying Drummond. But when talking about the Lakers, the only way possible that I believe they can get him is hoping the Cavaliers buy him out. Cavs, if you're watching this video, do us Laker fans a favor and buy Drummond out. Because if that happens, Drummond will be a free agent and he can literally sign with any team that he wants. And if this is the case, the Lakers are his top priority. I'm making this video today, and if Drummond does not get traded, I'd say by March 24th, they're going to buy him out by then, and then the Lakers can sign him. The best part about the situation is that the Lakers, if they sign Drummond, they don't have to offer him a lot of money. They can only offer him a veteran's minimum contract, and Drummond right now kind of in a shift in his career where he has to kind of take a step back, at least for one season. I believe with him having 0 championships, taking a step back for the Lakers, it makes a lot of sense. When talking about Marc Gasol right now, who is the Lakers starting center, a lot of Laker fans out there believe Marc Gasol isn't cutting it. He's not living up to expectation, so I believe getting Drummond to be the new starting center and then still have Montrezl off the bench, but then keep Marc Gasol there as their third center, I believe this is the best situation for the Lakers as they still keep depth, veteran leadership, and NBA championship experience. A front court of AD and AD, Anthony Davis and Andre Drummond, I would love this so much, it would be absolutely disgusting. So to quickly conclude this part of the video, if the Lakers want to get Andre Drummond, I believe the most likely is the Cavs buying him out and then the Lakers convincing Drummond to join them instead of the Brooklyn Nets. Because if Drummond joins the Brooklyn Nets, I don't know. I'm not sure if the Lakers can beat that. There are so many reasons that I believe Drummond will be perfect on the Lakers. I'm gonna state the obvious. He's playing for a popular NBA franchise, which means NBA teams can watch him and maybe give him a better deal. If he's successful for the next season, he's playing on a title contender, and of course playing with one of his closest NBA friends, Anthony Davis. Fun fact, if you guys didn't know that, they're boys. Ever since the beginning of the season, with the Lakers losing Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee, who were pillars to their defense and a big reason why they won the NBA championship, the Lakers have always been looking for size and a player that can be an interior defensive presence. And with Marc Gasol and Montrezl Harrell not the best at that aspect, Drummond, who's averaging plus 13 rebounds a game, would be perfect. The best part about this, it's a low risk on a veteran's minimum, and right now with the Lakers having a roster spot available after Jared Dudley's injury, getting Andre Drummond is very realistic, very possible, and it's logical. The Cavs, please buy him out. I would love to see this lineup. Dennis Schroeder point guard, KCP shooting guard, LeBron James small forward, AD Anthony Davis power forward, and AD Andre Drummond center. And then I have Montrezl off the bench, Kuzma off the bench, THT, Caruso. In my opinion, this team is defending the NBA championship. But ultimately, guys, this wraps up my video for today, talking about Andre Drummond and why I believe the Lakers must make him their top priority. What's most important to me is I want your thoughts. Is getting Andre Drummond realistic? Is it the best solution? Or is there another center you believe is a better option? Let me know what you're thinking down in the comment section down below. But other than that, take it easy, God bless. And I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets. Woo!